everyone! In this video, we're going to talk about how to construct parallel lines. Reminder that parallel lines are two lines that never meet. So actually, if you look at the two sides of my ruler, this line and this line are parallel because they're going to continue on forever and they won't meet. So you're going to notice here that I have a line M, and I have point P that is again just floating in space over here. And this is where I'm going to construct my parallel line. So step one is to go ahead and draw one line that crosses through your point and your line over here. So notice there's no specific way to do this. I'm going to kind of avoid doing it perfectly straight. Doing it at a little bit of a diagonal is going to be easier for me to visualize the next steps. This part, it doesn't matter if your line looks like this, if it looks maybe a little longer than mine, totally fine. So just line this up. I'm going to make this line nice and long. And reminder that you just want to have those arrow marks. And that's all you have to do for step one, is now you've created this line, and this is what we're going to use in order to set up our parallel line up here. Step two, go ahead and take your compass. You're going to place your needle down here. Now I notice I actually didn't draw a point in yet, so I'm going to just draw a point here where my two lines intersect. This is going to make it a little easier for me to see. And I'm going to take my compass and I want to set my needle right here. Notice I'm only holding the needle side of it. And I want to make this arc a little bit smaller than where my point P is. So I'm going to kind of like push my compass width a little smaller. And now I'm going to swing an arc that is going to cross the line I just drew as well as the original line that I had. Notice it is really important here that I am not moving my compass width, right? I'm just going to leave it there. And now I have this arc that crosses our line in two places. Right now I'm going to keep holding my compass and I'm going to move it up here to point P. And I'm going to draw an arc that is the exact same width and just, I don't really have a place to stop, but I am going to just swing it down a little bit farther. So now your paper should look like this, where we have line M, we have our second line, and now we have these two arcs that we've swung out. Okay, the next step you're going to do is just to help myself, I want to always mark these points of intersection so I can see them a little more easily. And now I'm going to take my compass, I'm going to place it at this point of intersection down here with my first arc, and I just want to measure and make sure that I have the correct width between these 2 points. You might recognize this step. This is very similar to when we made angle copies. And now I'm going to go ahead and come up here. So I didn't mark this point of intersection, but I'm going to go ahead and mark it now. I have this point. I'm going to double check my compass width down here. This is the same. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just flipping my paper upside down a little bit to make it easier to see. From this point of intersection, I'm going to place my compass down and I'm going to just swing a small arc right here to cross the first arc that we drew right here. So again, if any of this has been confusing, you can pause, rewind the video, go back and look at these steps. At this point of intersection, I'm going to, again, mark a point. And notice right now, I drew in one line to start, and now I have 1, 2, 3 construction arcs for this problem. And now from this last point that I just made where these two arcs intersect, I'm going to grab my ruler and now I can draw a line that goes through that point as well as my original point. And I'm just making it a nice big line. Ooh, sorry for that camera shake. I'm going to have arrows on either side. And this line I will label as line N. And this line is now parallel to line M. In order to show that these two lines are parallel, I am going to use construction marks that are these arrows that look like this. So when I put these little arrows on there, it indicates that these two lines are parallel. If I had another set of lines that were parallel, I could put 2 of these construction marks on each line. And then in order to write my statement that shows the relationship between these 2 lines, I'm going to go ahead and say that line M is parallel to line N. So reminder that these 2 symbols that look like that double L or a sideways equal sign, this indicates the word parallel. And now you've made 2 parallel lines.